We're going to make a quick video to show you how to try and repair a steam generating iron that's stopped working. So we turn the iron over, and this one has 4 security screws on the bottom. If we zoom in to one of the screws, you can see it's a torx security screw, which means the top of the screw is like a star shape, and in the middle of the star is a little dimple which stops an ordinary torx screwdriver head getting inside it. And so you need a torx screwdriver bit that has a dimple at the end, like this one. Sorry, a hole at the end of the screwdriver bit so that the dimple on the security screw can fit inside it. This is a set of security bits I got off eBay. They're about £10 to £12. You don't need to buy quite that many. You can buy a set of 5 or 6 of these torx security bits for about £5. So taking the screws out, this one you just lift the bottom plate off. There is a plastic tube that connects to one end of the pump which needs pulling off. So there's what would be the top of the iron housing with the reservoir inlet there, that black nozzle at the front. Move that to one side, and here's the base of the iron, and the pump which has stopped working is here. And what happens is the pump draws water this end from the reservoir, pushes it out through this pipe into the iron, providing the iron with a continuous supply of water. And what generally happens is that deposits in the water will get into the pump, clog it up and stop it working. So what we need to do is to unscrew these 4 screws which release the pump from its housing, and then blow compressed air through the pump, and hopefully that will clear the blockage and the pump will be working again. Good idea before you start, just take a picture on your phone showing what's connected to where on this iron. I don't know why, but the contact leads are white and orange. Just make sure you take a picture so you know which one goes where when you put it back together again. These are spade contacts, so they pull off like that. And then we just need to undo these 4 crosshead screws. We've loosened the 4 screws. The pump will now lift away. There's a nut here which is generally just finger tight. Just release the pump from that nut. That little plastic collar is to secure onto the end of the pipe from the reservoir there. So this is the pump on our model. It's a 220 volt, 15 watt solenoid pump. You can see the direction that the water travels through the pump. We have a portable air compressor here. This is for inflating the tyres on your car, but anything which basically blows compressed air would do, maybe even a bicycle pump with an adapter. And what you need to do is put the air pump onto that end of the solenoid pump. You can see there the direction of travel of what would have been the water going through, and then we just give it a quick blast of air through the pump. And ideally that should have cleared any little blockage in the pump. If you live in a hard water area, it may be that this pump has got completely clogged, in which case you may need to replace it altogether. We looked on eBay. You can get these from China, and the cheapest we found was just under £15. Some suppliers charge an arm and a leg for pumps like this. We saw prices up to about £80. There's no need to buy one quite that expensive, as long as it's 220 volts, because this is fed directly from the mains, and this one is a 15-watt pump. And most of the suppliers show you a picture and you'll be able to see whether or not that is likely to fit in the gap that you've got on your line. But it's basically the same principle. You also get these sorts of pumps to feed aquariums at home or fish ponds, because they supply a constant supply of fresh water. Just in case you couldn't see what was written on the bottom of the pump, here's a close-up showing the information supplied. So it's a 220 volt, 15-watt pump. This one made by a company called Jiayin, obviously from China. And pumps very similar to these, as I say, are available on eBay for £15 or so, if you need a new one.